students, today we will learn a new chapter from your English 1 book, Chapter 5, which is entitled Payal'S Mischief. This is a very interesting story, a story which revolves around a young, lively child, Payal, who does something very mischievous and puts everyone into trouble because of it. Payal lived with her parents and her brother Sohail, who was also very young and lively, but not as mischievous as Payal. Payal and her brother Sohail were young, lively children. They lived in a beautiful hill town where the father was a high official of the Department of Agriculture. That's why everyone called him Dr. Sahib, out of respect for his position. Whereas their mother was devoted to them and full of patience. She needed every bit of it because her children often got into mischief, especially Payal. The children had 2 favorite pets, a German shepherd named Bosco that followed Payal everywhere she went, and a small deer that lived in the barn. Payal was sometimes a tomboy and loved playing outdoors. She particularly liked the pool in the garden where her father had taught the 2 children to swim. One Sunday, the father left the house early in the morning to go hunting. It was the season of wild ducks, and the nearby lake was full of them. The weather was beautiful, and their cousin, a boy of Sohail's age, was visiting them on that particular day. So after he came, they had breakfast. Soon the children decided to play outside in the garden. They sat under one of the big shady trees and brought out some coloring books and building blocks. Payal, on the other hand, she sat quietly and started coloring the picture of a bird. Suddenly, they heard a donkey bray loudly just outside the gate. This announced the arrival of the laundryman, which came each Sunday morning with the family's clean laundry piled high on the back of his donkey. The children jumped up and raced to open the gate for him. As the donkey followed his master through the gate, Sohail turned to his sister and told to go and tell mother that the laundryman is here. But Payal refused and answered that she was very busy. So, without any option, Sohail and his cousins went into the house, but they found out their mother had gone to a neighbor's house. So they went to look for her, leaving Payal all alone in the garden. She had no other work to do. She was alone and she was wondering. She was just sitting idly what to do next. During that exact moment, Payal happened to catch sight of the donkey. Her eyes lit up with a flash. Something very weird went into her head and she wanted to do something. She looked around. There was no one watching. Even the old gardener was out of sight. Quickly, she untied the donkey and pulled it around to the backyard, intending to have a ride. But right then, she heard her mother's voice. She was alarmed and she looked for a place to hide the donkey. She realized that the laundryman would raise a big noise searching for his animal, but then he would give up and go home, after which she thought that she would have plenty of time to ride the donkey as much as she pleased. So quickly, Payal led the donkey all around the ground, but couldn't find a safe place to hide him. Time was running out. At that moment, someone might catch sight of her and the donkey. Just then, at the far end of the courtyard, she noticed the outside door of the guest bathroom. Yes, the donkey will be quite safe there. No one would ever think of looking for a donkey in the guest room, she thought. And she opened the door quietly, pushed the donkey inside, and quickly bolted the door from the outside. Then she ran back to the coloring book under the tree and sat there as if nothing happened. Suddenly, a scream broke the air. The laundryman came, and then he looked around, but there was a big surprise for him. He couldn't find his donkey anywhere where he had kept at time before. Soon, he had found his donkey missing. Dropping the clothes on the veranda, he ran out about in all directions, crying out for his dear donkey. But all his searching was in vain. Payal, of course, saw she had no idea where the donkey was. She said she had seen him break loose and go towards the forest. Still screaming for her donkey, the laundryman went running off towards the forest.
During the time, an unexpected guest arrived. It was Mr. Ali, an old friend of their father who stayed with them whenever he came visiting. He was a tall, thin man with a short grey beard but no moustache, and he was going bald. He was received warmly by their parents and shown into the guest room, the one at the end of the courtyard. Payal was becoming more and more nervous. As soon as she saw Mr. Ali arrive, she could smell trouble. What could she do? On the one hand, her mother and the servants were in the guest room, busy making it ready for Mr. Ali, and on the other, she couldn't escape from Sohail and her cousin. All that was left then was to hope and pray Mr. Ali wouldn't go to the bathroom too soon, not until she had time to get the donkey out of it. As for the donkey, the poor donkey, he sat peacefully in a corner of the dark bathroom. Now Mr. Ali was a very tidy man. He always bathed twice a day, and today, after a tiring journey, he wanted a bath more than ever. He took out clean clothes, changed his shoe for some wooden clocks, and made straight for the bathroom. He entered a small dark room by the inner door, the one from the bedroom, and locked the door from behind. And it was very dark. Suddenly, through the gloom, he saw a sight he simply couldn't believe. Poor Mr. Ali, his heart all but stopped beating. At the sight of the bald Mr. Ali, the long-suffering donkey lost all control and jumped his feet, praying loudly. Now in the darkness, Mr. Ali couldn't make out exactly what kind of animal it was that was threatening him. All he knew was that it was some huge, ugly creature letting out monstrous, strange cries. Completely unnerved, Mr. Ali yelled for help. He kept on shouting. The sound of Mr. Ali's shrieks and the donkey frantic praying brought everyone running from all directions, the mother and the children and all the servants, whereas on the other hand, only Payal knew what the trouble in the bathroom was. Ali kept yelling and screaming for help at the top of his voice. The servants were in the bedroom trying to break down the door, and the mother was standing just outside, imagining the situation, what must have been going with Mr. Ali. She was very tense. During that nick of time, Bosco came running up barking loudly. For once, mother did not tell him to be quiet but said, "That's right, Bosco, go inside and see what's happening." And it was Bosco who brought the matter to an end. Instead of running into the bedroom, he ran outside the courtyard door that Payal had bolted long time back. There he began barking even more furiously. Payal was both frightened and angry at Bosco for breaking her secret. Her mother saw where the dog was pointing and quickly unbolted the bathroom door. As it flew open, a perspiring, terrified, open-mouthed Ali came charging out. Right on his heel came the laundryman's donkey after him. The two ran straight for the garden together with great speed, trampling everything, the plants, and overturning the flower pots. The servant caught up with Mr. Ali in the garden where he had given up, being out of breath. It was a long, long time before they could convince him that everything was all right. They kept explaining to him that it was nothing else but Laundry's donkey who had been in the bathroom with him. But Ali remained quite convinced that it was an evil spirit in the form of a donkey that had attacked him in the bathroom. Soon after the situation came under control, inside the house, mother was sorting things out with the children. She quickly understood who had done all the mischief, and once her patience ran out and reached its limit, she got very angry. From that situation, now all may be sure that Payal got a spanking that she will remember for a very, very long time. Well, that's the end of the story. Hope everyone had a nice time listening. Be happy. Thank you.